Thank you, Anthony. Is now Waynesburg's offense trots back onto the field. Ethan Spozarski, Brendan Bennett providing you the final corner of play. 15 minutes left for Waynesburg to try to come back down 14-3 in a game where Waynesburg's offense has been able to move down the field but not execute on any points. Now on a 2nd down and 2 on the Allegheny 30-yard line. Hudson with shotgun. Shriver to his right. He'll hand off and move left. Shriver met quickly on the line. It's not going to get a gain. It'll be 3rd and 2. Moving left towards that left side between Gwenway and Ansel. However, Shriver gets tackled.
Just met immediately at the line was Shriver. Really nowhere to go with that Allegheny defensive line.
Now breaking the huddle, Waynesburg 24 seconds and counting on the play clock. Needing 2 yards to get a first down. They need to get to the Allegheny 28 to extend the drive. Hudson stands by himself in the backfield with no one. 3 receivers to his right, tight end and receiver to his left. Hudson takes a snap, steps back, fires, wide open, caught by Isaac Schratt on the left side. It'll be enough for a first down. He'll be pushed out of bounds at the Allegheny 23. Waynesburg extends the drive, 14-15 left in the 4th quarter.
First down.
You can see the Allegheny defender just caught up a little bit by the guy taking a go route, able to give the receiver just a little bit of space and enough time to get the reception.
Waynesburg breaks their huddle again. Isaac Trout a few different times. Him and Tyler Richmond have been Luke Hudson's best friends today with in regards to receptions and yards. Now Hudson stands with shotgun and Shriver to his right. Now he goes out to Elijah Jackson on the right side. Jackson following a few blockers there at the 15, forced himself out at the 10-yard line. He'll be pushed out by Brian Croston, Allegheny linebacker. However, it will be after a first down reception by Elijah Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson just in motion before the play, able to catch the pass and make his way down for a first down. As you can see, just on motion, wide open, just kind of really nobody around him, able to make his way out of bounds, but not before getting the first down.
1st and goal now for Waynesburg, a drive that started the 4th quarter at the 30. Now Waynesburg finds himself at the Allegheny 10. Shotgun once again, Shriver to his left with 3 receivers to the left. However, they hand off to Shriver up the right side. Shriver gets a gain of 5. Be 2nd and goal at the Allegheny 5-yard line. Shriver running a lot of downhill plays here in the second half. Lowering the shoulders, meeting with contact, and breaking tackles.
And that's something you want to see when you're here in the red zone at the 5-yard line. Lower the shoulder, get a couple extra yards.
Hudson again, shotgun once more with Shriver to his left, 3 receivers to the left. Hudson takes the snap. It'll be a pass left side going to the back of the end zone for Crum. There's got a lot of contact and 2 flags to follow. You saw a bit of contact turning away. There in coverage was David Williams. And if assuming correctly, would be a pass interference in the end zone on Allegheny.
Yeah, you could tell that one was clear as day, just as we're going to take a look at it right here. Steps back to pass, just grabs a hold of him right there before the ball even coming down. An obvious call right there.
Isaiah Fields, the intended receiver, the 5'11 sophomore from Cumberland, Maryland. You saw his right shoulder pad get turned in by David Williams. So with that, the ball's going to be put at the 2-yard line after the accepted penalty by Waynesburg. And more importantly, it'll be a new set of downs.
But Waynesburg will be a first down from the 2-yard line whenever we come out of the injury timeout. If you're able to knock this one, if you're Waynesburg, get the extra point, you're only down by 4.
So as we have a moment of separation, we'll take a look at the PAC standings as it comes in today. Waynesburg, with their 2 conference wins with Geneva, sits atop the PAC, tied for first at 2-0. Then you have a tie fest between Westminster and W&J for 3rd place. Then Hiram, Case Western, and Allegheny tied for 5th with a 1-1 record. And Grove City, Bethany tied for 8th with their 0-1 PAC record. And then St. Vincent and Teal as well, 0-2, tied at the bottom for 10th. St. Francis will be joining the football competition starting next year, so this will be the last year of 11 teams in the PAC football as well. There will be divisions that will be integrated as well, the North and South divisions for PAC football. The new format coming integrated this year back to its kind of old traditional ways. Two non-conference games to start the year, then 8 conference games to finish out the year. And you will play the teams in your division first and play the teams more closer to you rather than the extended amount that you've seen in the past. But now we have cleaned up play. Allegheny, the injured Gator, able to walk off. That was David Williams. He walks off with his trainers on his own power. But Waynesburg back to the 2-yard line on a 1st and goal. Hudson and Shriver stand shotgun once more. 12:30 and counting here, as now we see motion with Dagan Williams helping move the block to the left side. Now you see Trout motion from right to left. Hudson with the shotgun with Shriver, hands it off right side up the middle. Shriver met quickly at the 1-yard line. Tackle's going to come in by Ryan Croston, though, once again for the Allegheny Gators.
Bring up a 2nd down for Waynesburg, thanks to the pass interference call in the end zone. But Shriver, lower the shoulder, could very easily get into the end zone.
Yeah, you said it here. Shriver a few different times has been running downhill, lowering a lot of his shoulders. You see here, however, this time you saw kind of Croston go a little lower than where Shriver was and kind of force down on the legs and not allow any sort of movement. But now standing in the pistol formation, Shriver behind Hudson. Shriver works far right outside the tackles. There he is. He'll walk it in. Touchdown, Waynesburg. Carson Shriver. His 4th rushing touchdown in the last 2 weeks, and it comes at a crucial time for Waynesburg. 14-9 your score.
Yeah, just handed off to the left side, and nobody able to catch Shriver. Just runs it right into the end zone.
That left side line with Brisky and Grenway able to lead the way, along with Dagan Williams as well. Great blocking by Williams on the edge to allow Shriver to bounce outside, get Campbell off balance. And now Waynesburg's offense staying on the field, attempting a 2-point conversion. Ball in place on the 2-yard line. No time will be expended here. As you see Trout and Williams on the right side. Fake handoff, play action. Hudson's going to run. He'll try to take it in himself, and he will. High stepping it in. 14-11 now your score, thanks to Luke Hudson 2-point conversion.
Waynesburg only down by 3 now. A little bit of trickery there by Hudson. Able to keep it and just walk it right into the end zone.
Yeah, Allegheny's played more back, trying to get in the coverage like we saw a few different times. Good play action. Hudson rolls. He sees an open lane. No Gator even near him. Able to high step his way in there. Now it's a 3-point ball game with 11:44 left to go in the 4th quarter. Great drive, and we talked about it a few different times throughout the broadcast today, is some penalties to set back the drives and then not being able to capitalize on other specific plays. Waynesburg's missed a field goal. They've also had an interception as well, but they're still working in this game.
We had, a couple plays there to shoot Waynesburg in the foot, but there was a flag on that drive that actually helped Waynesburg, giving them the 1st down in the red zone, which ended up leading to the touchdown.
Yeah, and all created by this Carson Shriver touchdown on the 1-yard line with some extra help on that left side, thanks to Dagan Williams. Exceptional blocking on Campbell to allow Shriver to get to the outside. And now Waynesburg will kick it off back to Allegheny for an Allegheny team who themselves haven't scored since the end of that 2nd quarter. Pinkerton will be the one to boot it away for the Yellow Jackets. Pinkerton, Wainson, he'll run it up and boot it off out to Allegheny, as this one's going to roll out to left side and be received by Sampson. Sampson will run it out, runs it past the 20, the 30, a few different blocks, now gets out to the 40 with a flag coming in after the tackle by Waynesburg, more specifically by Jerron Hale. 5'9" freshman out on special teams making the tackle after a sizable return for Allegheny, but there is a flag in the backfield at the 25-yard line. Legal block in the back on Allegheny. Waiting for the specific number here.
Walking back. On the return, number 81. 10 yards. First down.
Legal block in the back's going to go on number 81, Curtis Knucklebach. in the backfield, so Allegheny's going to start it instead at the 40. They'll start at their own 20, and that's where Nick Barker and company will set up camp. 1st and 10, 11:38 now for Allegheny. Baraducci stands behind him. Fake handoff to Baraducci. They'll work outside to the tight end in Griffin. Griffin breaks a few tackles, bounces outside. He'll be pushed and forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Now changing it to the 41 and moving the chains. 1st down on the first play for Allegheny, and they'll work no huddle.
Something we haven't seen by Allegheny yet today, a little bit of a hurry-up offense.
Will Griffin now to the left side. Baraducci stands shotgun with Barker to his left. And now jumping Waynesburg offside. We'll see. There's some pointing, and it is going to be ruled offsides by our linesman and Brendan O'Brien. He'll motion the offsides. And now it's confirmed by Nathan Jones. Eshak Adam, the one who jumped. Now it's going to be a 1st and 5.
Yeah, you can see it clear as day. Just, gets them to draw offside. Move the ball 5 yards.
Barker works again, no huddle. Stands on a 1st and 5 for Allegheny. Baraducci behind him, Will Griffin to his left to block, and they'll hand off to Baraducci up the middle. However, he's met quickly by a plethora of jackets. Eshak Adam getting a little redemption there as he's the first yellow jacket there to stop Baraducci, and there's going to be no gain. It'll be 2nd and 5, 10, 15 counting.
Yeah, what a way to come back after that penalty. Able to snatch them up right at the line of scrimmage for this Waynesburg University defense.
Another no-huddle option for the Allegheny. Baraducci stands behind Barker at the 30-yard line. Barker now receiving orders from his sideline. 2 receivers to his right, one to his left. Barker now has 8 seconds to work with on the play clock. Motions Griffin to the right. He'll hand it off again to Baraducci, reading behind a few blocks, getting tackled by number 94 and Virgil Dorian. However, won't be before Allegheny gets a 1st down thanks to Dom Baraducci. All him and his 5'9" frame powering through behind a few blocks. And rather, it's going to be ruled a 2nd and an inch. Nope, rather, the chain gang fell behind. They will now move it. It will be a 1st down.
Yeah, they get the 1st down, and now they start to slow it down a little bit more again.
Now, Barker stands once again, Baraducci behind him. 2 receivers and a tight end to his right. Another pass. Barker holds on. He's going to loft one down the field for an open receiver, and it's going to be falling complete. However, there was some contact before the reception. That is what the flag is going to be for on Jonas Paulinese. Paulinese had his hands up, made some contact out. Appears to be what's going to be called, but we'll wait for the official ruling from Nathan Jones.
As we take a look at the play, just throws it deep. Had a little bit of separation, but Paulinese able to close that down, but closes it a little too much and makes contact, drawing the flag.
Chris Geiswhite, the intended receiver. Now in college football, a pass interference call in this situation is only a 15-yard penalty. It's not going to be spotted where the foul occurred. So 15 yards and a fresh set of downs for Allegheny now as they stand on Waynesburg's side of the field at Waynesburg's 44-yard line. Barker trying to get Waynesburg to jump off sides. They won't. Waynesburg looks to be sending 5 again. Allegheny checks. They have 10 seconds left on the play clock and 9:32 on the game clock. Barker waits with Baraducci standing behind him. Barker takes a snap, hands off right to Baraducci. Baraducci runs left, met by Ewing Jamison down in an open field, and it looks to be a gain of 5, so it'll be 2nd and 5 upcoming for Allegheny, and the clock continues to run down for Waynesburg, and Allegheny continuing to have another drive that is taking times and chewing the clock.
Yeah, just nice methodical runs here for Allegheny, chewing time away from Waynesburg.
Barker stands in with Baraducci behind him again, taking the play clock down to under now 15 seconds once more. Barker takes the snap, rolls left, hand off to Baraducci, left side, a few different blocks. Baraducci running it through, gets tackled by Marcus Mitchell, but not after another Baraducci 1st down. Allegheny methodical drive again with another effective run by Dom Baraducci.
We're going to take a look at this one. Just a nice run. No one finds the hole. Can't go to the left or right. Might as well try and run through him for Baraducci.
Allegheny breaks the huddle once more. Another time to set up the play now with 10 seconds on the play clock. Griffin stands to the right of Barker, but will hand off quickly, and Waynesburg gets to the backfield with speed. We'll tackle him rather at the line of scrimmage, with Polynice making the tackle once more. It'll be second on 11 for Waynesburg. Polynice working downhill once again and getting into the backfield.
Just absolutely nowhere to go.
As now another flag looks to be jumping offside. It looked to be Adam again for his second time on the drive, jumping off sides. And it is confirmed. Ishak Adam jumps offside once more. So a 2nd and 11 now turns into a 2nd and 6 for Allegheny, and the ball will be now placed on the Waynesburg 23-yard line. No huddle once more as the clock continues. 7:30 left of game time and 12 seconds and counting left of the play clock, with Baraducci behind Barker. Barker takes his time, takes the snap, hands it off. Baraducci up the middle, met quickly once more, this time by Tyler Curry. Ishak Adam also there to help bring a tackle. It'll be a 3rd down and short for Allegheny. 3rd and 4 to be exact. 6:56 and counting left, and again, Allegheny gets the line quickly this time. Griffin to the right of Barker and Baraducci behind him. Allegheny 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Barker continuing to take down the clock, 6 seconds on the play clock. Barker's going to take this down to the 1, and then he'll do that. Looks left to Devin Leary, and he'll be completed along the sideline. Marcus Crum pleading, trying to say that he was out, but we ruled a catch by Devin Leary. Ball's going to be placed at the Waynesburg 14-yard line and a 1st down for Allegheny.
We're going to take a look at this one. Steps back to pass, wide open. Just able to tiptoe out of bounds.
Leary got a whole 2 feet in bounds before getting out. Kind of what we've seen with Richmond and Trout on a few different occasions for Waynesburg, working the sideline to their advantage. Now under 10 seconds on the play clock and 6 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Allegheny's drive continues. Baraducci up the middle, bounces off his own lineman, but it's going to be met after that by a swarm of Jackets. Tyler Curry, one of the another tacklers in there to bring down Baraducci. Be tackled at the 9-yard line. Allegheny inside Waynesburg's 10, now with a 2nd and 5 upcoming.
And just over 5.5 minutes remaining. Time keeps ticking down if you're Waynesburg.
Allegheny hasn't had a lot of 3rd downs on this drive. We've seen in the past where Waynesburg just couldn't get a crucial 3rd down stop. Allegheny, though, just having all the right calls and plays with the helps of a few offside calls. As now it's going to be rolling right. Barker's going to have a wide open reception to Griffin. Griffin from 9 yards out takes it in. Touchdown, Allegheny. And the Gators extend their lead, 19-11, pending the extra point.
Absolutely nobody there in his vicinity. Once he caught the ball, able to turn and just head straight downfield for Allegheny.
We've seen it a few times with Nick Barker. He just extends holding on the handoff just a little bit long enough to make the right read. And Will Griffin wide open in the flat, able to take that reception and take it in the end zone for the Allegheny. 6 points. Now waiting for Olson's extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So Allegheny now gets a 10-point lead, 21-11. 5:10 remaining in the 4th quarter for Waynesburg. how will their response be, and Coach Coleman's response with the Waynesburg offense pending here for their next drive.
Yeah, Waynesburg only down by 3 at the beginning of the drive, gave up the touchdown. And now with 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, you don't need 1 score, but you need 2. You know, you kind of got to hurry up here if you're Waynesburg, because Allegheny, they like to take those long drives, kill the time off the clock. You know, is it too little, too late if you're Waynesburg?
So now just checking outside the PAC, we're checking outside here of the other PAC games going on as well. Westminster playing host to the Bethany Bison. The Titans currently hold a 52-0 lead in the 4th quarter over the Bison. Case Western travel to Latrobe, Pennsylvania. The Spartans, though, beating the Bearcats right now 35-0 as they're about to start their 4th quarter. And Hiram was losing to W&J, and upon last report, live stats aren't currently working for that game, but the last score reported was 42-7 in favor of W&J, and there is another game going on tonight at 7:30. It'll be Grove City in Geneva. That game you can check out on Sportsnet Pittsburgh tonight. As now Isaac Trout receives this kickoff, takes it up the middle, currently at 25, bounces outside, trying to work to the 30. He stays in bounds. Allegheny not able to bring Trout down on the sideline, and Trout able to get to the 34-yard line before being tackled with 5:01 remaining here in the 4th quarter.
Just whenever it looked like he was going to be knocked out of bounds. So we're going to take a look at it here. Starts to head towards the right side, and it's going to look like he's going to be pulled out of bounds, but able to get out of it and gain just a couple extra yards is Trout.
Extended play there on the kickoff and only wasted 8 seconds. So now Waynesburg's offense will trot on the field after the last time out, having the touchdown drive. Thank you to Carson Shriver and his 1-yard rushing touchdown. It was met and followed by a Luke Hudson 2-point conversion. Waynesburg, though, down 10 still to Allegheny, as now is the ball on their own 34-yard line. 1st and 10 in the shotgun. Hudson looks. It'll be a screen pass to Shriver. He's able to help get a block by Ansel and pushes it forward. It'll be a 9-yard screen pass, or rather it's going to be moved up an extra yard for a 1st down. Originally spotted after 9 yards, but Shriver, after the consideration, gets 10, gets a 1st down, and Waynesburg runs with a no huddle.
Yeah, if you're Waynesburg, you kind of got to hurry up here. Down by 10, 4.5 minutes remaining.
Empty backfield for Luke Hudson. Tight end receiver to his right. 3 receivers to his left. Hudson takes a snap. Allegheny only sends 3. Goes over the middle to Trout. He was met immediately. However, Trout does hold on to the catch near midfield. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 upcoming. And Waynesburg working quickly. No huddle once more. Ball's going to be spotted at the Waynesburg 48-yard line. 4:04 and counting for the Yellow Jackets. Hudson now shotgun with Shriver to his left. Takes a snap, looks right, fires. That's going to be well short, intended receiver for Tyler Richmond.
Yeah, had Richmond in the area, but just thrown way too short to pick up the catch.
It will now be a 3rd down and 6 for Waynesburg. Yellow Jackets needing to convert here as they are on their own 48-yard line. Hudson stands by himself with an empty backfield. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to his right, 3 to his left. Hudson checks to the sideline. The ball did fall incomplete, so the clock is stopped at the moment. However, there's only 6 seconds left on the play clock. They'll have to run a play. And they do. Hudson in the pocket, waits, steps up, trying to scramble. He will, and he gets tackled up in the legs by an Allegheny defender. Matt Phillips, the one to bring down Luke Hudson, and it's going to be a 4th down and 5 for Waynesburg.
Hudson, whenever he got up, seemed to be limping a little bit.
Now 3:18 and counting here. 16 seconds on the play clock. The cowbell's ringing, and the time being now for Waynesburg. He stands with Shriver and shotgun to his left. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Hudson takes a snap at the 49-yard line, steps back in the pocket, fires left side, well over the head of Isaac Shroud. Incomplete pass. Allegheny will take over on Waynesburg's side of the field with the turnover on downs.
Waynesburg, 3 timeouts. We're going to take a look at it. Steps back, tries to find the receiver right through the hands. Had to jump up, though, a little too high. Give Allegheny the ball. The only thing right now in Waynesburg's favor is they do have 3 timeouts.
I mean, that pass was high for Trout, but Trout was open. That ball being a good 2 feet above where Isaac Trout was standing. But Allegheny now has a chance to put this one away with 2:58 remaining as we have a flags. False start's going to go on Harrison Eckert. Clear jump by him. Push back Allegheny 5 yards. So they'll go back on their side of the field. This will put Allegheny at their 46-yard line. 1st and 15 upcoming for the Gators. Another no huddle. Dom Baraducci standing directly behind Nick Barker. Bunch formation to the right. Barker hands off up the middle of Baraducci. He's met quickly by Virgil Dorian. As now there's a timeout was taken by the Waynesburg and head coach Cornelius Coleman. Looks to try to give his offense one more chance to get the ball. So an upcoming 2nd down coming for Allegheny. So while we have a moment, we'll look ahead to the schedule, what lies ahead for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Right now, they'll head on the road next week to Grove City on October 11th with the 2 p.m. kickoff. Then they'll come home the following week on October 18th, and that game will be presented on KDKA Plus by the D3 College Football Game of the Week as Waynesburg plays host to Geneva. And then following that, Waynesburg travels 20 minutes north up I-79 to take on the Washington and Jefferson Presidents on October 25th for a 1 p.m. kickoff there. Your games with Geneva and Washington and Jefferson can be found on the President's Athletic Conference digital network. No huddle once more. 2nd and 15 brought up again. 2:51 and counting. Baraducci with the handoff up the middle. He breaks through a few tackles and is leveled. The hit was hit by Marcus Mitchell. Baraducci goes head down. He pops right back up though. Heavy hit, kind of like running into a brick wall. Marcus Mitchell finds himself there. Yellow Jackets will call their 2nd timeout as a 3rd and 8 is upcoming for Allegheny.
As we take a look at it, gets a little bit of a hole, but then absolutely met right there by Mitchell. Just completely blew him up.
Textbook tackle too, shoulder to shoulder, forcing down, and Baraducci kind of getting pushed off his shoulders, landing on his backside. But Waynesburg now with an opportunity to stop Allegheny on the 3rd and 8 with one more timeout. So with the stop, Waynesburg can call the timeout and allow their offense to come out on the field to try to slim down the lead and get a chance with an onside kick. But first, Waynesburg needs to stop Allegheny. 3rd and 8. Allegheny currently stands on the 47-yard line of Waynesburg. They need to get to the 39 to get a 1st down. Allegheny stands. Griffin to the right of Barker, and behind him is Baraducci. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Barker. Barker takes the snap, hands off right. Baraducci up the middle, met by a plethora of Jackets. They'll stop him at the line with potentially just 1 yard. 4th down upcoming, and there's that final timeout by Waynesburg. So Coleman's defense gets the stop. Allegheny not risking it with any type of passing play. And now the ball will be spotted on the Waynesburg 46-yard line. So Waynesburg given a prime opportunity to chip down the lead. This giving remnants to the 2nd quarter. Now in the 2nd quarter, there was 1 minute and 30 seconds left to be specific on the clock, but Waynesburg unable, just 3 plays into the drive, having a costly interception along Allegheny to score their 2nd touchdown of the day. But here the wall of Waynesburg defenders just there to meet Baraducci once more on a crucial stop. Question is, will Waynesburg offense be able to retaliate and get some sort of points on the board to allow Waynesburg to kick an onside kick? So now both teams trot back onto the field. Marcus Crum Jr. going to be the returner for Waynesburg. He stands at about the Waynesburg 11. Punting for Allegheny is going to be Dylan Reed. Reed, high towering punt to the right side. Fair caught by Marcus Crum at the 15. That's where Waynesburg will take their starting offense.
2.5 minutes left to go for this Waynesburg offense. And you still got to get 85 yards down the field. You know, the only guaranteed stop right now is the 2-minute warning if you're Waynesburg. A tough task for these Yellow Jackets.
No huddle as Waynesburg comes right off the sideline to get to work. 2:32 left to go in the fourth quarter. As it'll be Hudson sitting with Shriver to his left in shotgun. One receiver to the left, to the right. Hudson takes his snap, steps back in the pocket, looks right. Now he's going to step up, go to Shriver, wide open on the left side of the field to allow Shriver to get a sizable gain and run out of bounds at the 27-yard line, or rather the 22-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 3 as the clock stops momentarily to allow Waynesburg to get more set up, and now it starts running again, 2:20 and counting. Shriver again sends shotgun to the left side of Hudson. Hudson takes this pass, he looks, he's gonna go left side with some contact and a few flags are gonna fly. The intended receiver was once again going to Isaiah Fields. We saw Fields get hit with some contact earlier on the touchdown by Shriver earlier on in the half.
Wait, what? Who?
We'll wait to see exactly what the penalty is going to be. Initial call tells you it's going to be pass interference on the defense, but Allegheny pointing, and nonetheless it will be a pass interference call against Allegheny.
As we take a look at it here on the replay, you can see him all down by his ankles. You're kind of bringing him down before the ball was even in play.
So now Luke Hudson stands with Shriver again, 2:07 left on the clock. Waynesburg now has brought the ball away to the 37-yard line on their side of the field. Waynesburg will get one more play in before the 2-minute timeout. Hudson steps up in the pocket, surveying. He'll find Shriver. He's met with a tackle by number 13 of Allegheny, specifically going to be JV Edwards.
Hudson a little beat up after that play, but throwing it to Shriver, he would have been better off just to keep it and run, get some more extra yardage on that play.
Javi Edwards making the tackle, sophomore 5'11" linebacker out of Youngstown, Ohio. You'll watch again here. Hudson steps up, just goes quickly to his guy underneath, but Edwards going low, grabbing around the waist. Takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Both teams meet in their huddle. Waynesburg's down 10. Trying to find and keep it alive. Waynesburg started 2-0 in their PAC competition schedule for the first time since 2012.
Yeah, and if you take a look at this replay again, he throws it off to Shriver, but right here, there's absolutely nobody around him except the guy that's chasing him down. If he would have just stuck his foot down and ran, I mean, either way, you would have had the 2-minute warning coming up to stop the clock.
So Waynesburg faced with a 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard reception by Shriver. Ball's going to be starting on the 40-yard line of Waynesburg territory. Both teams break their respective huddles. So we've entered the last 2 minutes of today's PAC contest between the Gators and the Yellow Jackets. We've talked about it for Waynesburg and how crucial it is. Allegheny coming off a loss versus Geneva. Multiple losses this year coming within 1 to 2 scores. So Allegheny getting a chance to right their wrong as Hudson's going to look deep downfield to Tyler Richmond. Acrobatic catch complete and caught at the Allegheny 22-yard line. Tyler Richmond receives the reception, gets the call, and now the Waynesburg offense trots down the field, no huddle, looking to continue with push.
A nice job to stay in front of double coverage was Tyler Richmond to come down with that one.
Clock continues to roll, 1:50 and counting. Waynesburg snaps the ball, though. Hudson looks right again. He's looking for Richmond. This is going to be an interception at the goal line and taken in, and it will be a touchback. Tackles, or the interception made by David Williams. Miscommunication by Richmond and Hudson, and now Allegheny begins to celebrate as they're just a minute 42 away from walking away with their second PAC victory of the season.
Waynesburg, no timeouts to stop the clock here against Allegheny.
Looked like Hudson was hurrying up. He's throwing to Richmond. It almost looked like Richmond expected there to be some sort of flag, kind of ran into a brick wall, and or he was miscommunicated with Hudson, wasn't expecting the pass. A reminder, David Williams was the one who got called for that pass interference call earlier on in the half to allow Shriver to get their score, but now Allegheny lines up in victory formation. Nick Barker steps back, takes the first knee he'll need to make. Minute 38 and counting. He'll need to do that at least one more time before this game can be iced away, as the play clock is matched up with the game clock at 26 seconds. Probably to take two more kneels before this one can be classified as put away. Just look again one more time. Hudson's pass, I mean, it just wasn't even anywhere near. I don't think Richmond was exactly prepared for it. Kind of ran into Williams on his route, but not enough, and Allegheny seals the deal with a game-winning interception by David Williams. There's another kneel taken once more as we're now 59 seconds, so one more kneel need to be taken by the Gators and they will win. With the win today, Allegheny's going to move on the road once more. They'll head out to Cleveland, Ohio to take on Case Western on October 11th. They have a 4:30 kickoff next week. Waynesburg, they'll be going to Grove City. They'll travel up north to take on the Wolverines for a 2 p.m. kickoff matchup, and there's the final kneel. And Nick Barker secures the win for Allegheny as the waning 29 seconds will count down. And Allegheny secures their second PAC victory of the season. And now Allegheny, since rejoining the PAC, has a 3-1 record over the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.